what I wanted to speak with you both about, really, I've composed quite a lot of operas now, and I really, really love writing about events that have actually happened and people, I love writing about contemporary history, but it also has its challenges, doesn't it? I mean, at what point do you go into the fictional fancy? How do you combine your imagination with the factual?
I could only speak from a perspective of making characters audible, and in that case, the best that I can do is to compose as if these characters were relating the lines of Sophia's text in real time. In terms of vocal writing for that, I took a lot of inspiration from Benjamin Britten, where some of the lines would fit quite naturally into speech.
I can just add that it's very hard when you start taking real people, because you have to make sure it balances with what the public actually knows about it. So this isn't the first libretto where I've based it on a real event. The last time I did something was about a real person, and it becomes very difficult, even to think about, like, if somebody that knew that person or family ever saw that piece, you really want to do your due diligence. But at one point, you are right, Errollyn, you've got to kind of release it, because you've got to enter the world that in imagination. You can't be writing a Wikipedia opera.
No.
You've got to let go at one point and trust that I do as much research as I can, and then trust that I now know the situation and I need to start imagining what if.
It's a fascinating area, this, because it's one feels such a sense of responsibility to people who've lived, but often I feel the works really jump off, once imagination comes, and you can hope that I once wrote an opera where I was depicting people who actually lived, and I found myself sitting next to one of the person I'd slightly lampooned. So there we were watching his scene on the stage, and he was sitting next to me. And in the interval, he did actually burst into tears and realize that he had been ridiculous. But I remember thinking, this will probably never happen to me again. It's a very precarious thing, and you have to be quite bold, don't you?